Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for a lucky dip. It's also the first stream of August, so I didn't have time to actually get these items out that I got for my lucky dip, so I am going to get them out now. The reason why the beginning of the month means it's hard to get this stuff out is that I had to go through and update my charity of the month and everything, and I chose Vegan Outreach this month. I'm actually signed up to be a mentor through Vegan Outreach. It's only local people only though, but so I chose them. I haven't featured them before. I have a list of reputable charities that I like to pick from, and there's only a couple left that don't have like a special meaning associated with the month, the reason why I picked them. So yeah, these summer months, there's not really anything too special to like be like, oh yeah, I definitely want to do this kind of charity or something. So anyway, Vegan Outreach is our charity this time. So let's see, is this the right one? Yes. Okay, so the first item that I got out is this Karen. I don't know if it's Karen or Karin, if it's Japanese style or if it's English, but I'll say Karin. Karin Brush Marker Pro in Rose Pink, and actually I'm very excited that I got this item because I love these. These are so fun. I don't use them that often. I mean, that's why they're on the Lucky Dip roster, but they're very, very satisfying to use. I've got a couple of them. And let's see, I think that's it out of my markers bag. So let me zip this back up. Oh, hello, Exie! How are you? Great to see you again. Thank you for joining me. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting through the week all right. For you, you're already on the second half of the week going to downhill. You're on the downhill now. Okay, let's see. I think this item will be in this bag. This is my pens bag. And yes, there should just be one item in here. Are you in here? Yes. Okay, so this is the second item. It's the Sakura Micro Perm. I don't know if this is focusing. Oh, I think it did. Yay! Sakura Micro Perm, and it's the size 03 pen, black ink. It's a permanent ink pen, so it's really nice because you can like use it on all kinds of different stuff, glass or like whatever. It says permanent on most surfaces. So that is the second item. Oh good, I'm glad to hear it. Exie says, I'm okay, thank you for asking. How are you? I am good. I'm actually very happy that this is the first stream of the month, and I was only like a minute or two late. So it's usually the first stream of the month because I have to change descriptions everywhere and change my overlay and stuff. And no, I was only a couple minutes, and that was even considering that I was reading my novel. I'm reading a novel right now that's super good, and I read it a little extra long because I really didn't want to stop reading, but it did not affect too much getting started on time, so I'm feeling pretty happy about that. Let's see. So it's this Tombow. Tombow, is this it? Oh, it just says Mono J. I wonder what the heck. What the heck? Okay. Hold on. I need my phone so I can Google what this pencil is supposed to look like. Because it doesn't have a grade for... Because here's a Tombow Mono pencil, but it says drafting. It doesn't say mono. Wait, it's a stylized. Ooh, I think this is it. Because here's a stylized... Oh, I'm not holding it well for you. It's a stylized J on here. I thought it was just like a swirl. I think this is it. So that's super exciting for me because it means I get to sharpen this pencil for the first time. I love sharpening pencils for the first time. It's such a lovely experience to sharpen a pencil. It's right up there with starting a new sketchbook. so satisfying. Something about it. Seems like such a mundane thing, but it's like, oh, like it's Christmas. Okay. I didn't really share that properly, so. I'm standing up, so it's harder for me to read the chat right now. So let me see. Oh yeah. My husband was saying a kind of a similar thing. Exie says, "Yeah, I feel the week should be done already. I need a midweek vacation." Hang in there. You got this. Oh. Exie says, "Oh, what do you read?" I am reading a novel called, it's a very long title. It's called We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves. And it's just so good, and I just can't stop reading, and I'm like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And it's kind of weird, because I'm like, what even is the plot here? What's going on here? There's not really much going on, and yet it's so interesting, and I just... like if you could salivate for a book, that's what I'm doing. Like, drooling for a book, mentally drooling. Oh, interesting. How does it compare? I have not read it either way, but in any language. Exie says, "I started A Song of Ice and Fire recently. I read it in my native language before, but now I'm reading it in English." I think it's so fun to do that, because I have done that. I've never actually finished a novel yet, but I started The Hobbit in Japanese, and The Hobbit is my favorite book ever since I was a kid, and so it's so interesting to read it in a different language and compare, like, so that's how they decided to translate this part or whatever. So I hope that you're finding it interesting too, to read it in two different languages. Oh, nice. Well, I hope you like it. You can let me know if you ever read it. I haven't even finished it yet, though. I mean, who knows? Maybe the ending will be a big letdown, but I don't think so, because it's so good right from the first page. Oh, for anybody watching the recording, Exie says, "Added to my read list." Yay! I love reading. It's so exciting. Okay, so before I forget, here's the third item. This pencil that I'm super excited to sharpen. I've never used it at all. Never used it before. This is why I like to do these lucky dips. Well, one of many reasons, but big reason I started it was because this perfectly good pencil is sitting there not being used today. It's going to be used. So it's a Tombow brand Mono J, and you can barely tell this is a J, and then this one is an HB. So that's right in the middle of hardness and boldness. So it's a nice middle darkness, so you can get a wide range. And now that I'm holding it, it is super light. It's like as light as a feather, which is great because if you're doing really long sketching sessions or something, and practicing drawing a bunch or whatever, or doing a really big drawing, light pencils are the best because it just keeps the fatigue away from just holding it. Okay, I think I can sit down now because I'm pretty sure this last item is just over here in my little carousel. Yes. I love this one. It's so cute. It's the Sakura. So another Sakura brand item. It's the same brand as the pen. This is the Sumo Grip mechanical pencil, 0.7 millimeters. And it's a really, it's so cute because it's super fat, and yet it's relatively light. It's definitely heavier than this wood pencil, but it's nice and satisfying, and it's got a nice twist out eraser on the end that has a ton, like, look at that. And I have chosen this pencil to be my just regular sketching pencil in the past, so it's not like I've gotten plenty of use of that already, and there's still so much in there. So that is the fourth item. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, it's so hard. Exie says the biggest difference is the art itself. No matter how good the translator is, it's never like the original text. And it's so true because there are just things you can't translate since languages are never one-to-one with each other. And so, yeah, the art. And so it's hard to It's hard to translate. And I experienced that recently. I finished a book. I've mentioned it before. I finished the book called The Courage to Be Disliked. It's actually translated from Japanese. And since I'm a student of Japanese, I had this strong feeling that they literally translated a little bit too much because it came off as kind of clunky in English. But I could guess what the Japanese phrases were. And in Japanese, those phrases are not clunky. They're common, and so yeah. So that's a good point. Oh, cool! Yay! I'm gonna have a drawing buddy today. Exie says, by the way, I'll be drawing the same images you draw today. Awesome! Yeah, you could, I mean, again, you don't have to, but you could post it in the Discord. I would love to see it. That reminds me, I didn't get my reference image book out yet. This pose shoe means pose collection. Katana danshi, so swordsmen. And we are on. So let's see. Oh, we're doing an upside down one today. No, we didn't do this one. We did do this one. Wait. No, we didn't do this one because we did this one last time. Because I remember the swords were crossed like this. Oh yeah, and their little feet cut off at the bottom. Yeah, so we're doing this one, not upside down. This one will be upside down next week. Okay, so let me get some clips. Clip it open. I'll try to make sure that this is really well... that it is on the camera nice so that you can see the whole thing. That's so cool. It's fun to draw with people. That's something that I do miss from school. So I don't miss the pressure and the sleepless nights, that kind of stuff from art school. But being in a big group with people and drawing together and just, yeah, that, I do miss that a bit because it's so fun. And then you all take a break together and you're all stretching because you've all been drawing for an hour and you're like, and you all get a snack and then you sit down for the next hour of class. Okay, I think maybe, yeah, I think that's a bit better. Sorry, the glare, because I would like to share this reference image. The glare is, it's kind of unavoidable, though. I tried to clip it nicely, but... Okay, so first we're going to test these items out. There's not too much swatching, cross-swatching we need to do. Just maybe this marker on top of the pen. I mean, we could do it vice versa too, but I feel like it's not going to be a problem, so... Okay, so this was that one from before, from a couple weeks ago, I believe. Okay. Put this in here. And should I sharpen this first? I'll sharpen it first. Sharpen it right now. Oh, good. Exie says it's all fine for me. Oh, good. Yeah, I love that you decided to do that. I'm so happy. No one's ever done that before. Even because I've been streaming for quite a long time. This is just the first time that I've been regularly streaming for a long time, and nobody's ever done that before. Okay, so, well, I guess I'll introduce, I mean, I always talk about it, but this is my favorite pencil sharpener, the Ratchetta. You can change it between sharp tip and blunt tip. I'm going to do sharp tip. And it's nice because you just keep doing this. You don't have to take the pencil out. And it sharpens it really fast. Because the ratchet, there, look at that. Boom! It's nice and sharp. Yeah. Okay. I'll put the lid on here. I also like it because it has a nice big compartment for the shavings, which a lot of pencil sharpeners that have a compartment, sometimes it's so small that it's like, what's the point? Because you have to empty it anyway right away. And then it also has this cap It's easy to take off, and I don't use it, but it has a little hole in there. So if you wanted to like put a chain or a string through there to like tie it to your bag or something. So it's a very well designed pencil sharpener. Put that back over there. And there's little wood shavings on here. Let's get those off. Oh, and right here on the paper. If you heard the little clicking claws on the floor, that was Chappie. I guess because it's so hot these days, she likes to lay on the hard floor. So she got up off the bed and just laid on the hard floor instead. I think it's because it's cool. So this pencil is really nice. Very, very quick lay down and nice and smooth. The graphite is very smooth. Smooth, even coverage. And let's see if I use the tip. Nice sharp line. And how dark can we go? So putting more pressure onto it. And then, so not just putting more pressure, but the more you angle it. So if the paper is like this and you angle it like this, then it will just naturally be lighter pressure. And then the more you angle it like this, the more heavy the pressure gets and the darker the line will become. But then it also becomes a smaller line. So there's just some different things that go into controlling the pencil. Such a simple tool, but there's so much that goes into it. To wield it. To wield the pencil. There's just a tiny bit of extra graphite floating around there because of how much I put down. This is a nice, just nothing to complain about. Really nice artist pencil. Okay, so let's try the other one. The other graphite pencil is the mechanical one though, so it's not really that great for filling in. It's better for doing lines and sketches, because I think what's nice about mechanical pencils for artists is that if you're just sketching and you're not worrying about tone, you're just worrying about line, mechanical pencil just click click and then it can keep going for a lot longer than this one for line drawings, because the tip gets dull, you have to keep sharpening it, etc. With this one, the only time it's a problem is when the length of lead runs out and you have to click some extra times to get the new one, but yep. There's no complaints about this one. I mean, the only thing with this one is it might not be good for super long sessions because it is very heavy compared to this. I mean, I've had heavier pencils, mechanical pencils, ones that are made out of metal, for instance. I have a couple that are completely made out of metal and they are very heavy, but they're also very fancy, so if you want to feel fancy, then those are nice too. So I'm going to just test the eraser on here. Since it's a Japanese brand, I don't know what it is. Japanese erasers are the best. I have some German brand ones. Well, German or like Austrian or European brand ones, but I just never get the same awesome results as I do from Japanese brands. I don't know what the deal is. So as you can see, a nice clean line right through there. So that's two of the items. Oh, I guess I'll write here. This is the Sumo Grip. And there's also Sumo Grip other things. Like I have a big clickable eraser. My electric eraser is also the Sumo Grip brand. Well, it's like Sumo Grip line because the brand is Sakura. Okay, so let's try the other Sakura item, which is the Micro Perm pen, which it's called that because it's like a micron, so it's a teeny tiny, like a fine liner pen, but it's permanent ink, so you can write on all kinds of surfaces. And I think that that means it's marker proof, but we're gonna find out. And yeah, I've used this one a lot, actually, because my postcards for Patreon, I used to order them instead of making them in-house, and you could the best option was always the glossy paper, and I could not write on it with any other pen, but with these pens I could write on the glossy paper for send the postcards out. So actually I've used this quite a bit, and I'm mentioning it because it's super dry. It's extremely dry and skippy, but that's not the fault of the pen, it's just because it's so old. So old and well used. I love the Sakura brand stuff. Okay, so the final thing, oh wait, and let me write microperm on here. Microperm. There. And the last thing is the Karin, or Karen, I don't know. Brush Marker Pro. I don't think this needs shaking. It's nice because it's got this clear. You can see inside and see the ink, so you can see how much it looks kind of like a level, you know, like a bubble in it, so you can tell if something is level or not. But then you can see how much ink there is, and also I can tell it doesn't look like it needs shaking because the ink already looks really even. So let's just try it out. Ah, yes. It is as I remembered. It's a super satisfying marker to use. It's got this really big spongy style tip. Ah, I just love it. Love it. And you can do teeny tiny lines. You can do like really big fat ones. Ah, it's so good. Okay, so what I really wanted to try was I don't think any of this ink is moving. So excellent. That means I can do what I usually like to do, which is put the ink down first, the black ink first, and then do the marker on top of that. So this is we'll just put cutting because it's shorter. So it's the only cutting item, and we have this list here to reference. Okay, good. So we've got about 35 minutes. Draw this pose. So what do I want to start with? I think that since what mechanical pencils are really good for is line work, I'm going to start with this. And then I'll use this wooden graphite pencil to do some shading. So my idea is mostly my regular thing. Pencil drawing first, ink it, add color with the marker, and then add shading with the pencil. And it's really nice because this is like I'm not sure if it's water or alcohol based, but it's the kind of medium that absorbs into the paper. And that's great for being able to do a pencil on top because there's not going to be fighting. The marker will be in the paper and then the graphite will sit on top. Okay, let's go. So this is very interesting because they are so close together. I think it's going to be easier to treat it as a whole unit first and then add in these negative spaces like right here, here, and here. So with that in mind, first I'm just going to block off a space for them to be in so that hopefully I won't draw off the page. It doesn't always work that way, but okay, and then we'll divide it in half. And I think that the halfway point is maybe right here, maybe underneath the OB. So we'll just keep that in mind. And then, so the halfway point here is maybe their shoulders, but probably more like where this seam is on his shoulder, which is a little bit lower than the point where it starts really curving down. Okay, and then okay, so, and the reason why I'm thinking about that is because I'm like, okay, so how big should their heads be and where should they be? So if this is the shoulder, then that means their eye line is right about at the, so we cut it in half and half again and another half. I think their eye line is right about there. So I'm just going to add a couple circles. Super basic, not trying to do anything other than just be like, heads there. Okay. And I want to keep in mind that their bodies are both angled this way. They're not flat like this. they're both coming in. And so that means their shoulders come down like this to make like a V shape. So we'll add just like a basic V shape. Okay. Okay, so then going down, so this is about the halfway point. This is another halfway point. Is maybe, yeah, like the knee, if you consider the bottom to be the very ends of their toes. So let's add a couple little ovals for their feet. And then the knee here, and so that means his bottom leg is like about like that. And then this bottom leg you can't really see. You can see the ankle a little bit, but it's mostly covered up by the hakama here. So let's see. So the knee is here, the bottom of the foot is here, and his back foot is like in between there. So we'll put that there, just a little oval. And then the other leg is coming up. Let's see, the other knee is just barely higher, even though it's farther back, or maybe because it's farther back. And then this person, you can just barely see his toes here, and they're actually more at the height of his heel than his toes. So put those there. Just a little tiny circle to show the toes. Okay, so what else are we going to build? We're going to build, let's see, so I'm just going to make some assumptions. I can see a curve here and a line of shadow here, so this thigh has got to be right here. The other one, you can see the curve under the kimono there. This side, it just goes straight down. So about from this point, straight down to the toes. Alright, excellent. Now, let's see. So these their hands are about the same height. I'm doing a very rough estimation, but I put my hand back and forth just to verify. So if it's about here, and then this is the midpoint. So yeah, the hands are about at the midpoint between this line and this line. Okay, this thigh. This hand is like in the middle of his body. And this. So his elbow here, the elbow that is coming from the back, is actually almost at the height of this halfway point where the shoulder is coming down at the front. So put that there, and have just a couple indicator lines. We'll refine those better. And then this hand is curving underneath this arm, and the elbow is just like straight out here. Okay. Okay, and then his neck is coming down here, and then this shoulder straight across from about the line of his mouth, actually, not from his chin. His chin is lower than his back shoulder. And that comes down. Okay. It's looking like kind of confusing right now, but it'll sort itself out. Okay, so this is the halfway line. Then this hakama comes down here. Not all the way down, but about the same height as this one. So good. It curves in a little bit, comes across the foot, and comes down a bit. And then this line is connecting all the way back up to the top. There's another line. Comes in at an angle here. And here's another fold here. Closer to the toes. There. It's good enough. Okay, so this hand is slightly lower than this one, so we'll use it, but it's the same kind of thing. It's right along the center line of his body. Like, it's just barely off to the side of where his chin is. Okay, so we'll put it at the same height. And this hand, it's up higher. Maybe like this. This elbow about the same height as the other person's elbow. And then this person's shoulder is not showing nearly as much, as way behind his body. And it's lower than this person's shoulder. So let's see, this is shoulder. So we're going to connect the dots. Shoulder, elbow, and then this hand. Okay. And let's see, this arm is right up against this one. Connecting here. And shoulders also right up next, right up against this shoulder. And then I love this on kimonos, how this collar just stands straight up like that. I love that. Okay. Just a little commentary about how cool kimonos look. Okay. And so we really need more definition here, I think. Just to bring the body together, and then we'll finish putting the clothes on. Because there was just a disconnect between the lower body and the upper body. But now, let's start adding some lines for sleeves and stuff. Looking at the shapes where they're coming out from each other and folding onto one another. There's a cool M-shaped couple of wrinkles. They're not quite folds. And then this sleeve is definitely folded right here where his arm is coming way over. Sleeve should be above this hand. And it's got that nice angular quality that I really like too in a kimono. Comes around and back under, and then there's another bit of cloth sticking out here. And the folds over here, and the collar wrapping around the neck. I love this, how it, because of the way it wraps around the neck, it's very thin up by the neck, and then it gets wide as it comes across the chest, because it's not flat, it's like curving around and then coming down. It's like doing this kind of motion. And then the under kimono is visible. Okay. Moving, let's do a little bit more definition on the hands as we move down. So this part, like this main part of the hand, I'm not sure what you call it. This is the palm. I don't know what you call the whole thing though, but let's draw this thing. It's kind of like a shovel shape. And then he's got his index fingers out a little bit like this. The others are curved more around the hilt. Yes, the hilt of the sword. And then this one again, it's upside down compared to that hand. And this comes, and this, these two fingers are in a little bit further. Can't really imitate it, but they're in a little bit further than the index and the pinky finger. Oh, I lost track of my fingers. Okay, there's one, there's the other one. I lost track of how many fingers I had drawn. Okay, there. And then now we can draw the hilt. Whee! Okay, and tsuba. And the part that the sword is like, I don't know the name of this tiny little piece of metal that sticks out and holds the sword. Okay, the tip of his sword goes like exactly to the end of the hakama here. And the curve is on the bottom half. On the bottom side. Bottom half. The bottom side. Bottom edge. Yes. And I see I did the angle a little off, so I'm just going to re-sketch that. There, that's better. Okay. Yay, one sword is in the picture now. Okay. Well, I'll finish this guy. Like, I'm so excited about the sword that I was like, okay, let's draw the other sword now. Well, let's finish this guy first. Like, wee, swords. Let's draw the swords. Okay. Obi. The obi is coming out right around the ring finger of this hand. And it is wrapped quite a bit. Like, it is a super long obi, I think, because it seems like it's very thick and wrapped around him many, many times. So I want to capture that, making sure to draw it sticking a lot farther out than the kimono is sticking out. And you can see it under by the thumb. And let's see, and then yeah, the sleeve covers it up. Okay, top half done. Now there's a little tiny bit of fabric sticking out here. It's the end of this part, of the collar part, and it comes all the way down, and it's under here, it's sticking out. Yay! Thank you! How's yours going? I just assumed you meant me, because you're always so nice to me. Compliment. Yours is amazing too, I'm sure. How is it going? How far are you? I don't know. Are you following me? Or are you doing your own pace? Thank you for your kind words as always. I'm just smiling here like an idiot. You can't see it, but okay. The bottom half is always so much easier to draw because there's just less going on. It's less complicated. Okay, and then this other half. So it's not super tight on his leg, the kimono. There's a little bit of room. It's sitting away from the leg a bit. So there's indications of the leg underneath, but it's not like super crazy tight like it's been in a few of the other reference images so far. And you can even see there's like a crease right here. Hey man, that's fine. Exie says, mine is alright, they are human-shaped. Yes, me too. They're human-shaped. I like that. I like that. It's human-shaped. It's good enough. It's good enough. That's the only way to get better is to just work on the, get to that point. Draw the human-shaped thing over and over. Okay, so I've got one foot down. And feet always give me such a challenge. It's such a challenge because this doesn't seem quite right, but I don't want to spend too much time because there's only 20 minutes left, so, and I'm putting a lot of time into. It's because these images are bigger and it's just so nice. You can see so many more details. So I'm just like, yay, I'm going to draw all the details. And then I'm like, wait a minute, where did all my time go? It's happening again. But I think it'll be okay because there's nothing crazy left to use. It's all stuff that I'm pretty used to using. So, and the toes here is so interesting because this foot is clearly at an angle, but because toes are naturally at an angle just like hands are. Just like fingers are, but because of the angle, his toes are actually straight across right here. And I love this little bump here on feet. I love that little bump that's like this on a hand, like this part, and then it comes out a little bit. I love that. So I guess it reminds me of the complexity of hands. I like the complicated mechanical parts of the human body. They're very interesting. Still a bit of an odd foot, but that's what I put in my tags, drawing practice. This is drawing practice. Put it right in the beginning, right on the tags, so there's no question what's going on here. Just practice. Practice. Okay, everything other than his head is done, so let's do this person, because I want to wait until I get their bodies done to put the heads on, because the heads are also really fun, but then that also makes it easy to not match the heads to the rest of the body. So I'm doing my best to hold off on the heads until I get the rest of the body in there. I learned that from one of my favorite drawing books. I've mentioned it before, The Dynamic Anatomy by Hogarth. That was the first time I had ever encountered that advice, to do not draw the head until the very end. And it explained why, and it made sense, and so I don't always succeed, but I've tried to follow that advice ever since then. At least when drawing from imagination, it's easier to forget the rule. Well, it's not a rule, but to forget the advice when you're drawing from a reference, because it's just there waiting for you to draw it. Okay. Just adding on the clothes, the wrinkles, the folds. And I'm not trying to be very exact at all. I'm just trying to get the gist of it. Just get the idea down. I think that's all that really matters. I mean, for me, for my style of artwork, that's all that matters, is get the idea across. I'm not interested in doing photorealistic stuff. And I'm not saying that there's no merit or anything, or that I don't like photorealistic stuff. It's just to look at or to admire from somebody else's work. But for me, that's not part of my artistic scope, I guess. I can do it, but it's not rewarding for me. It's just like an exercise. It's not like, I don't feel accomplished when I do it. Do a photorealistic, like super, every wrinkle is exactly as it is in the reference, or in the, well, it could be a reference, it could be a live reference, like a still life or something. Because I remember having to do in one of my painting classes, there was a basket with a bread in it and then a big curtain, and we had to paint it. So I did my best. I tried to make it as exact as possible, get all of the folds of the curtains as they were and all that stuff. And it's a valuable exercise to just learn how folds work and stuff like that, but yeah, I wouldn't do it as my main thing that I do. So that's my explanation about why I'm just doing really, really loose approximations. Okay, so for the under, it's called shitagi. I was gonna call it undergi, so I'm like combining Japanese and English. Shitagi means underclothes. So on this person, you can see it very clearly. On this person, you can only see it up here. And otherwise, it's covered by the main kimono. The outer kimono. Okay, so let's see. So we've got, this comes down, and then, and there's this big sleeve poofing out here, making a nice triangle shape. And I didn't quite leave enough room, but you can see that strap that's been popping up in a few of our reference images so far. And you can see a little bit, I can't really see exactly how it's tied, but you can see the knot for the hakama. And then these lines, I'm going to bring them all the way up to that knot, because that's where I'm seeing them come from, basically. And then over here, so this comes down, and then this, yep. Okay, and then you can see I see. So I've got his sword a little bit too high, but I'll just go ahead and draw the top part of the hakama right here. It's a bit too high, but that's okay. There's just a few wrinkles happening here coming from around the back. Okay, but I think that's good enough because we've got just so 17. We've got just 13 minutes left, so I'm gonna try to finish this up. So let's get this foot in here. And it's so interesting to me. Sometimes the that first toe after the big toe is actually longer, and it seems like it's the case for this person. That's another thing I love about drawing from reference, live or photograph, or in person, or I don't know the term, but like you're actually looking at it in real life, because you can see lots of differences. If you only use yourself, for instance, as a reference for the human body, then it's all of your characters will end up being very specific to you, and then the range of differences that are possible with human DNA are just there's so many more. And I think that it's so interesting to see what is possible, because like these people's feet look way different from mine, and probably some of it is that they're clearly male and I'm a female, but I think it's also just the genetics. And then you can make a lot more rounded, interesting characters if they don't all look like they came from the same mold. That's something that I would like to avoid with my character designs, is sort of, so I love anime style, but a lot of times anime style ends up being that it looks like the exact same character every time. It's just that the hair color is different or the eye color is different. Like, everything else is the same. The nose is the same. The ears are the same. And I know for actual animation that's like, that's not just because people are lazy or something. That's because it's hard to animate a bunch of differences. But I'm not an animator. I'm an illustrator, so I want to make sure that I give some real life to my characters by making them unique. This person's hair sticks up way higher than the other person. I ended up giving a really happy mouth. I'm not going to mess with it anymore, but he looks way happier in my drawing than he does in the reference picture. And then he's got this little wisp, sticks way off the back of his head. He's got very fluffy hair. He looks so happy. Okay, this person has got this, the face is almost straight onto the camera. He's just looking to the side. Got his face in there. Let's get the outline of the face. They both have very strong chins. Maybe not in a jutting forward way, but how can I say, this bottom line is a very strong and square. That's also very unlike my chin. My chin is very round and just very under, like my face goes meow. The chin doesn't stick out, it goes meow. I used to have a little bit of a self-consciousness about it, and it's sad because it wouldn't have ever bothered me except for when I got braces. orthodontist was like, this will help with your weak chin or something like that. And I'm like, I have a weak chin? You know, I was like a 12-year-old kid. Like, thanks a lot for giving me some insecurities. Like, I had no problems with my teeth, but I did need braces because my teeth didn't line up properly. I can't remember, I either had an overbite or an underbite, and so there was more than just a cosmetic reason to get braces, but I'm like, man, you didn't have to say that, you know? It bothered me for years, that one comment. Now I'm like, whatever. This is just my unique look. This is what I look like. And it's fine. I look different. And I like different stuff, so I like how I look too. Okay. Let's do this. That is enough sketching. I have sketched so much. It is time to use some of these other items and to do it quickly because there's only 7 minutes done and Exie is done. Exie, what media did you use? Did you use pencil again? Or maybe digital media? Or did you go straight pen? Or... And I'm going to do this really fast because there's like no time. There's no time to mess around. I'm going to keep the happy look on this guy. I like it. The other one looks more serious, so this guy's, hey, what? And then the other person like, I'm gonna fight you. Because this is another one of those poses that looks like it should be the cover of a manga or a video game or something. Okay, this hand is so elegant. I love this. This one right here, beautiful. Sword, this, and that, and this sword is on top, so I want to remember that. Oh, my lines are so wiggly because I'm trying to hurry. Alright, and this hand is upside down. And what else? This sleeve here. And this will be here. Sleeve. Let's see, this arm is here. Only mechanical pencil. Okay. Are you going to post it on the Discord? Should I be looking forward to it when I'm done with this? Man, that would be super cool. I would love if someday, you know, we have a big group of people and we're all like, and then we're all posting our pictures at the end. It would be like having a virtual class. It would be like what I was talking about, that class feeling. Like, and then you're all done and looking at each other's work. Oh, yay. Exie says, sure. Yay. It's so much fun to draw with other people. I'm so glad that you decided to draw with me. Okay, did I get everything on this guy? There's a line missing here. There. Oh, I've got to hurry 4 minutes. Oh, and I didn't do this guy's eyebrows. Boom. It's got eyebrows now. Yeah, these larger ones. I was really looking forward to these larger reference images, but now I see they're dangerous because it's so easy to get caught up in the details and be like, oh yeah, look at this, look at how this hand is. Like, I can actually see each individual knuckle and stuff like that. Oh no, not enough time. Well, it's a lucky dip, so they're never meant to be like masterpieces. Oh man, I'm super confused about what is going on in this part of the image? Okay. Sword. And the other side of the sword. Whee! Okay, this is here, and here's this part. And this is this bow, and here's the little strap. Man, since I'm hurrying, I'm dragging my hand across here so much, so I bet I'm getting so much graphite all over the place. Oh, this Ben is almost dead, practically. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. A heel. And this toe. Oh, and you can actually see a couple of the other toes. Anything else I'm missing? I don't think so. Okay. 3 minutes. So I'll use this for... Let's do it for the blue color. So that it's on both of their... So that they both have some color on them. And I'm just going to do super basic coloring, not really trying to stay in the lines too much or color it all the way in too much. Just get the color on there. Wow, drawing with this really fast, it's kind of squeaky. Squeak, squeak. Okay, not there, but there. Oh yeah, man, my hand is so dirty with graphite. Wipe it on my pants some. There. Let's see. Those little claws that you may be hearing, that's Chappie. She's hoping that we're going to be leaving soon. She's sniffing at the door. She's like, aren't you done yet? I'm ready to go out. Let's see, and all of this is part of the top part, so good. It makes him look like a Miko. A Shinto Miko. Okay, 1 minute left. Let's do some really quick shading. So this is the last thing. Just add the shading on top. Super fast, super fast, super fast. Especially these parts like this. Really deep shadows, but also I'm just doing it super quick and loose because there's like no time. There's like no time. Oh, right here where his head is, casting a bunch of shadow. And then over here. And then I can do some shadow on this part that did not get colored so that at least it still looks like it's part of the outfit. I think that helps with making it look like part of the outfit. Oh, and this sleeve is very dark. Wait, this part should have been colored. There, now it has been. Oh, and I'll do their hair some too. Just to get the shade in there. Okay. A little bit more on the feet because I don't want their feet to look like they're just existing separately from everything else. Boop. Okay, good. It's gotta look good. Oh, thank you. Yay. Ooh, me too. Exie says, it's looking really cool. I love the red. Yes, these markers are so nice, so fun to use. Okay, so close up. Here it is. I think it's pretty good, especially for rushing the last 3 items. Like I spent most of the time getting ready and doing the main sketch, and then I spent like 10 minutes only on the other 3 items. But I still think it turned out pretty good, considering the time limit and all the other limitations that I put on myself for these streams. And I feel like I'm getting, I know I say it every time, but it's so exciting because I really feel like I'm getting better and better with each one. So and I think dividing it up like this, even with the proportion issues that still exist with this sketch, dividing it up really did help with, like, they're still pretty in proportion with one another, even if some of it is like, you know, their feet are a little bit big or, you know, little small things, but it's like the issues I'm seeing are getting smaller and smaller, so. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for always joining me, like, every day. Exie says, thank you so much for the stream. It was really fun. Yeah, I hope that you'll draw with me again. It's so fun just knowing in my head that you were drawing, too. Okay, but we're a couple minutes over, so let's end it there. I do have the Children's Book Writers and Illustrators Conference starting on Friday, so I won't be streaming on Friday, but I will be posting in the Discord some of my, I don't know, thoughts or notes or updates or something, I thought it might be interesting to share. So I'll be in the Discord, but I will be back on next Monday for regular old Inktober 52. So, yes, I will see you then. Alright, that's it for now. That's it for this week. I hope you have a great rest of your week, a great weekend. Thank you for watching.